It contains themes and scenes which may not be suitable for very young audiences. Parental guidance is advised.
Greetings from the Philippines to the world. We are on Facebook Live on Eagle News and Net25 TV and also on our streaming site eaglenewslive.com. Watch us on our YouTube channel at Net25 TV. I am Cesar Vallejos. Welcome to Open for Business. Join me discover the latest news and information in business around the world. Stay ahead of the curve from vision to action. Companies give priority to health and safety to fight and contain the spread of COVID-19 and ensure the well-being of their employees, partners, customers, and communities. The construction and cement industry is heavily affected by the global pandemic. So today we will have a conversation with guests how they face the challenges of COVID-19, putting the health and safety of their people their utmost priority. What is happening now in the cement industry and how is it adjusting to the new normal? Richard Cruz, Vice President for Health, Safety and Security, and Jonil Anyo, Stakeholder Relations Manager of HOSIM Philippines, will share their insights when Open for Business returns. Stay with us.
Ito po si Angeline Quinto. Abangan ang part 2 ng Tagisan ng Galing dito lang sa Net25.
Do you want to earn a degree while you work? New Era University now offers Expanded Tertiary Education Equivalency and Accreditation Program, or ETIAP. ETIAP is an educational scheme that recognizes knowledge, skills, and prior learning obtained by individuals from non-formal and informal education experiences. It is implemented through deputized higher educational institutions like the New Era University that awards the appropriate degrees. Programs offered are the following: Master's Program, Masters of Arts in Education, major in Educational Management, Master's Program in Business Administration, Bachelor of Arts in Science, major in Political Science, Bachelor of Arts in Science, major in Mass Communication, Bachelor of Science in Education, major in Filipino, major in English, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration with majors in Human Resources Development, Marketing Management, and Financial Management. Beneficiaries must be Filipinos who have attained at least high school level of education. The program is flexible and you don't need to attend regular classes. Expanded Tertiary Education Equivalency and Accreditation Program, or ETIAP, is under the supervision of Dr. Nilo L. Rosas, the University President, and Professor Anita P. Santos, Director of ETIAP. For more information, contact the following: Cristina Moreno, 0995-138-0786, or email cvmoreno@neu.edu.ph, or Arlene Sarmiento, 0906-298-9150, or email cedctl@neu.edu.ph. What are you waiting for? Let New Era University be your partner in achieving your dreams.
Open for Business is back, and with me is the Vice President for Health, Safety and Security of HOSIM, Mr. Richard Cruz, and the Stakeholder Relations Manager, Mr. Jonil Anyo. Hi, Richard and Jonil. Thank you for gracing the show.
Good
Hi,
afternoon,
Cesar.
Cesar.
Good afternoon. We're really happy that you invited us to your show.
Off cam, we were talking about this global pandemic and how it has affected not only your industry but the entire business world, not only here in the Philippines but in different parts of the world. And also, we were talking about how your industry is very critical, especially in the Philippine economy, because construction had a very high contribution in the Philippine economy. And before the pandemic, we were talking about, the era. I think it's a golden era of the Philippine economy with the contribution of the Build, Build, Build campaign of the administration. My question now is, what's the general outlook of the cement and construction industry? And also, we were talking earlier about uh, how business plans have been revisited, and I'm sure uh, your company also has been affected, and you went back to the drawing boards, and I'm sure you are one of the major companies here in the Philippines that has been affected by the global pandemic. What's your general outlook of the cement industry?
So thanks for the question, Cesar. No, the construction industry itself declined by around 33.5% in the first up to the second quarter. And because of this pandemic, us as major players happen to have a big role in the government's projects for the Build program. So we disclosed actually 25% decrease in revenue, even if we were allowed to reoperate sometime in May this year. So it's really a big challenge for the industry. But I believe, no, as our CEO mentioned, that the cement industry is one of the most resilient when it comes to adverse changes in the external environment where we operate. And I think the industry now, the outlook in general is really to stay as an active partner, but more so not just to be there to supply the needs of the construction industry, but first and foremost to take care of the health and safety of our people, because we believe that our people are the most important resource when it comes to our operations. And also, I think Jonil here will also be sharing some active role that we play in our communities. Very, very important for us to um, stay as a very good and responsible partner of the communities and other stakeholders. It's not just about us, really, but we're here for the long run, and we would like to continue to become a reliable partner in the coming years ahead.
Yeah, Richard, you mentioned about that figure about 25% decrease in
Revenues.
revenue. So, uh, did you expect this to happen? Let me go to Joe Neal. I'm sure that was not really expected. And since you handle stakeholder relations, how were you able to manage that? Nobody has expected, any decrease in terms of revenues, because the construction cement industry, it's really in a high growth path. But with this, how did you manage it with the stakeholders? And so far, what were some of the activities that you have done to somehow give assurance to the stakeholders that everything will be okay and may go back to normal? But actually, we can't say that na. Sabi nga nila, wala ka nang mabalikan na normal. This is the new normal. So how did you manage that, Jonil?
Caesar, the pandemic really played a huge role on how we interacted with our key stakeholders. especially in this time of need. We sincerely believe it is important for us to lend a hand to the communities, of course, that have been home to our facilities and employees for a good number of decades. So, part of being here is that we would like, we're proud to tell the stories of not just our company, but even our own employees have come to the aid of our neighbors, our stakeholders.
Okay. Now, with the with your industry, when we talk about construction materials, manufacturing, talagang ito yung apektado ng health and safety issues. As we mentioned, it is one of the most vulnerable to health and safety issues, and the risks are there. So, being one of the companies that is at the forefront of the industry, how are you managing these risks?
For health and safety, I think we are in a good position to make sure that the health and safety of our people is protected at all times. No? As a multinational company, we took the advantage of leveraging on the best practices from over 80 countries where we are members of. No? And also, this will not be possible without the guidance of our government agency and the guidance that they gave for all the industry players. No? So at the beginning of the pandemic, when we saw that there were different lockdowns being implemented, especially in the places where we operate, we really came together and we formed what we call the business resiliency team. No? So it is made up of all the top leaders headed by our CEO, and to really sit down and make sure that we focus on the company's strategy during these times of uncertainty. So the strategy really focuses on health, cash, and cost. Health being the health and well-being of our people. We don't spend unnecessarily. We foresaw that the pandemic will have a negative impact in all aspects of our operation. And even then, no, Cesar, we did not anticipate. I don't think any business or any industry has anticipated the magnitude of the problem of COVID-19. So we came together, we formed what we call the business resumption protocols, and it's a set of a guidance document that really tells the new normal, as you said, no, the new way of doing business.
Yeah. Sorry, Richard. I have to cut you there because you initiated at least two concepts that would also help a lot of our SMEs and business owners. One of the things that you mentioned was the business resilience. I hope I heard that right. So, we at Open for Business is we are really at the business of showcasing how resilient Filipino entrepreneurs are and the businesses. So when you say business resilience, can you give me, somehow, how do you deal with that? So is that a specific? Are there specific protocols? That what's the composition of that? You may not have to mention your trade secrets, but at least when you talk about resilience, kasi ganun tayong mga Pinoy, tayo pa, di ba? Kung parang lahat na yata ng trahedya sa Pilipinas, naranasan na natin. But that is one good point. So, if you can give me a quick run-through of what business resilience team is, and then you also mentioned another thing. You mentioned about a business resumption. So, like, everybody on a lockdown na ngayon lahat, o tigil lahat. So, what's your protocol? How do we restart? Okay. So, maybe any one of you can join in giving me a walkthrough of these concepts.
Okay, so business resilience team is the mancom, no, made up of the mancom of the company, and it's really a dedicated team to take charge of the situation. Meaning, we look at our risks, what will be the impacts of that to our people and our operations and our stakeholders and our partners and our customers, and really put forth decisions that are really difficult to begin with because nobody really anticipated the pandemic or the crisis of this magnitude. But also we had this team led by the CEO, actually will make the decisions on how we will go forward with our business. So it comprises of new rules to take care of our people. What do they need? Addressing that. How do we ensure that we're still present in the market despite being locked down for several months? How do we engage our customers and our stakeholders? And how do we continue to become partners with them? And the rules that we set for health and safety is being dictated by this business resilience team. So
Mm-hmm.
from the word itself, resilience, as you said, the Filipinos are used to tragedy, whether in real
Oh.
life or in telenovelas. Uh, we are actually there to make sure that we try and anticipate the best that we can. But if there are things that happen because we did not foresee them, it also gives us an opportunity to sit back, talk about it, discuss about it, and then make the proper decisions with the proper experts on the team.
I'd like to ask Joe Neal here with what Richard mentioned. The Since you are involved with stakeholder relations, this has to be communicated clearly with all your stakeholders. And of course, during the pandemic, uh, there were people, business sectors, industries who really didn't know what to do. And uh, in the corporate world, of course, what has to be dictated by management is key. And what is very interesting also with your industry is that it is part of a very a big group. It's of course you have stakeholders from different parts of the world. So how is your communication? How is your stakeholder relations being done during this pandemic? How were you able to cascade all these concepts in terms of business resilience and business resumption protocols?
Similar to what Richard just mentioned, Cesar, no, that even for our stakeholder relations strategy, we subscribe to the standards that were provided to us by our by the Lafarge Holcim Group. And under those guidelines, what's really critical for us is to make sure that we continuously engage with our stakeholders, even while the lockdowns are in place. So one thing that was, and you mentioned this, that a lot of companies are and a lot of local governments, I mean, would be needing help, especially in this time. And that's one of the things that we activated very early on. We communicated with our stakeholders, particularly the local governments and the community organizations, that we're here to help in any way that we can. We of course we focus on the communities that host our operations. Um, so those were the things that we started early on. Identified the needs, such as, for example, like food packs, hygiene products, medicines and medical equipment, and even personal protective equipment. So as early as March, we started identifying these needs in partnership with our key stakeholders, and slowly started distributing these critical items to help the communities cushion, to help communities cushion the impact of this pandemic.
Mhm. Now, given those responses, what's also amazing is the fact that your company, being part of a multinational network, is ready for this. We know, I mentioned earlier, but that almost everyone were caught unaware by unprepared by this pandemic, but somehow with organizations like you, there is some sort of an organized system in handling this. What is the key driver? Is there really in a multinational as big as you? Is there really a structure, that somehow prepares you to address these situations? I am asking this question because the concept of open for business is to learn from big companies like you and give them insights also on how to to prepare for tragedies. Halimbawa, yung mga maliliit natin na negosyante, yung iba talaga hindi talaga sila handa. Parang they have not prepared for anything. But as we move forward, ito na dapat ang pagkakaabalahan ng mga SMEs or business owners or entrepreneurs na you always have to have a backup plan. So, in your case, how can you describe the your corporate culture in dealing with these tragedies or any specific business disruption, because we see that this is really a huge business disruption. Richard or Joniel?
Yep. Okay. Thanks, Caesar, for the question. For us, Wholesome, we take pride in over 10 years of a strong health and safety culture. No? And we started this journey about 10 years ago. And we really didn't focus lang on tragedies or disasters, but we really focused on the key risks that we had to manage when producing and distributing our product. In the cement industry kasi, there's so many high risk activities that we need to manage to ensure that we do not harm our people or our customers or contractors in the way we do business. So I think it played a major role in making sure that we can easily adapt to any given situation, especially disasters and pandemics like this. When the Taal volcano erupted in January, we had a little practice already on how we will make the business more resilient. And then when the pandemic hit, it only gave us the opportunity to shine, to come together and really work together to ensure that our people in our operations and are safe. And may I mention, Cesar, no, that the BRT is not alone in this journey. All the people, no, all the employees, as Junil said, and the stakeholders really help in making sure that we follow all the protocols that we need so that we can navigate through this pandemic. We also made an active decision to help out our customers, no? Lalo na yung nag-struggle because of the pandemic. So we had this program 5 years running. It's called Customer Safety Engagement Program, where we already hand out health and safety tips when how they should run the store in a health and safety manner. So I think we just leverage on the fact that when we had that program already in place, we were able to share it to the partners and the customers so that they can also be ready to cope with the ongoing pandemic.
Yeah, well said, Richard. Now, I'll ask Jonil this time. Naririnig ko kasi sinasabi niyo kanina, you have projects, initiatives to support people and the community, which is really how business leaders and companies should do now. Sabi nga nila in one of my interviews also with CEOs, what you do today, what you do during the pandemic would somehow uh, create the impact on how your people, how the whole organization will follow you or will perform in the future. So whatever you do today is basically your future and how the company or an organization will be carried through and will how the future will be crafted. So can you tell me more, Jonil, about how you support your people and communities and how your initiatives are giving an impact to them? Because during the lockdown, they are the ones. We are under this in any organization. We just sit or in our homes and wait, but it's also a waiting game somehow because we are expecting directives from our management. In this case, how were you able to manage providing care and support to people and the communities that you serve?
I think Richard was able to touch on this matter earlier. And it all stems from our very strong health and safety culture. And that is not limited to what we do internal in our facilities, but we also extend that knowledge to the communities where our sites are located. So Richard also mentioned that, aside from the pandemic that is happening right now, when Taal volcano hit Batangas, those were certain things, um, information materials that were part of the assistance that we provided the communities. So we're not only limited in the items that can support, such as personal protective equipment, like I said, hygiene products and food items, but we also provide much needed technical guidance to these communities and local governments who are scrambling to, you know, find, strategies in order to mitigate the impact of any type of calamity, whether it's the Taal volcano or whether it's the ongoing health crisis with COVID-19. So those are the things that we try to provide. Our site-based corporate social responsibility officers are active in participating in forums organized by the local governments, and they're able to share the health and safety culture that we practice inside our facilities. Those are the things that they can share so that, for example, the community emergency response team can utilize. The barangay health workers can consider using as part of their protocols in preventing the spread of the disease. So health and safety is a vital part of our operations, and we are very happy to share this culture, to share this knowledge with the stakeholders, with our key stakeholders.
Wow, wow, well said. Now, before we go into a break for the second round of this conversation, my question is this. So, we were saying that we did not anticipate this. Some of the businesses were caught unprepared. In your organization, can you describe the culture in terms of health, safety, and security? I know that it is as you mentioned earlier, it's really something that is already innate in your corporate culture, hindi ba? Kasi talagang pag sinabi mong construction, talagang automatic na yan. Parang that culture of health and safety should be ingrained in the system of the individual. So, from the very beginning, other organizations would really focus on that as an add-on lang, di ba? Or as a, kumbaga, uy, may na-aksidente lang. Kaya parang we have to prepare this. But in your case, how do you describe the culture of your company in terms of health, safety, and security?
I guess I guess I can describe it, Cesar, in four words. It's positive, it's professional, it's participative, and it's proactive. So
Perfect.
positive meaning, like you said, I like what you said. No, it has to be embedded in everything that we do, and for so many years, that's the mantra that we're trying to communicate to our people and our contractors. So it has to be positive, hindi because sinita kita about a safety violation, you get mad at me because I'm only doing it to care for your safety and your family's safety. So that's number one. Professional meaning trabaho to. I mean, this is part of the way we do business. And as you said, in construction industry, if we don't do our jobs well and there's an accident, not only did we lose the very important irreplaceable life of the person, but also we can be stopped in our business, and that's not good for business resiliency as well. Participative, so our unions, our stakeholders, like what Junil said, our communities, our customers, we all endeavor them to participate in this exercise in health and safety. And also, we take pride in making sure that we keep proactive, no? Even in the past when wala pang mga disasters or emergency, one of the key things that we do is we do emergency drills so that we can be prepared, no? We have the muscle memory so that when disaster strikes, we won't do it perfectly. Of course, no organization in the world can do it perfectly all the time, but at least the the leaders and the employees will not be scared. They will be calm, and they will be reassured that the company and our people can do the best we can to stay together during the crisis.
Wow, those are very, very amazing insights, Richard and Joe Neal. But we have to pause for this break. Open for business. We'll be back. Stay with us.
Hello, my name is Robin and I'm 5 years old. My mom and dad said many people are getting sick. That is why we have to stay at home. That is why I cannot go to school. I cannot play outside. And I cannot even visit my friends. We can only go outside if we visit the doctor or if we need to buy some food. And when we get home, we have to wash our hands. While I'm at home, I do my homework, clean up my toys, help cooking our food, and help my parents with their work. Please stay home so we can all play together again. Bye!
Open for Business is back, and with me is the Vice President for Health, Safety, and Security of Holcim, Richard Cruz, and Stakeholder Relations Manager, Joe Neal. This mask is already the new normal for us. You cannot leave the house, and you speak with your colleague, with your office mates. We have to wear this. Aside from this, I also have a face shield. This is already part of our system. Pero para lang maintindihan ng mga nanonood sa atin, because we are, of course, with you. You are one of the companies that really come up with a lot of safety measures. Pero ano ba talaga can you cite some examples of these health and safety measures? Kasi, limbawa, di ba parang yung iba, yung panyo lang, pwede na. They buy something. Yung iba naman talagang N95. Yung iba naman talagang, yung mga nakikita ko, designer labels ng mga 15,000 pesos. Di ba? Siguro dahil wala silang mapaggastusan ng pera nila, they had to invest for those designer labels ng mga face mask. With your company, can you cite some examples of very specific safety measures that our people, our SMEs, can be guided with?
Okay, Cesar, we would like to share also what we communicate to our people when it comes to the mask, and then I'll go to some specific protocols that are beyond just the PPE. So for the mask, we don't wear them primarily, especially the one that you hold. We don't wear them primarily to protect us from the virus. It's to protect others when we sneeze, so that we do not release the virus with enough viral load for the people to get any sickness that might come from our body. So that's clear. In our companies, because we need to protect our people from dust, which is the main product of cement industry, we are mandating them to wear N95 mask, because this one naman prevents you from inhaling all the dangerous particles that would otherwise will be inside your lungs. So there's a big difference. And so we want to share to the SMEs and to our fellow countrymen na yung pagsusuot ng mask, even if you have it, you spend, should we say, 50,000 pesos on a mask. But if you don't wear it properly, I can see people wearing it on their chin. I can see people wearing it in this level. Hindi rin nadidefeat din yung purpose. I guess we need to really share this experience to other people to really heighten the education that we're not doing it para lang hindi tayo mahuli, but also to protect each other.
Pero when you say, when you mentioned about these masks, like say you mentioned about this N95, ito ba, like say for example, N95 is good for the cement construction industry. Pero ito pwede rin siya sa coronavirus, similar to like a surgical mask. Pwede siya sa coronavirus to avoid it, but not necessarily in your industry, di ba? So magkakaiba yung particles na ganun. So kumbaga yung N95 ba is can we say that it is a gold standard, or are there other types of masks, for specific reasons, just for our viewers to be guided?
Well, definitely. When you say N95 Caesar, it prevents 95% of particles less than zero point 0.3 microns to come into your body. So, of course, when it comes to particles that you can inhale, like ash from the volcano eruption to cement dust, and even the virus, of course, this can block 95% of that. But even then, yung pagsusuot natin ng mask, like the ones that you're holding, or even yung sinasabi ng CDC that you can do homemade mask, is actually based on the principle of transmission of COVID-19, which is through the bahing or the coughing or the sneezing, so that it's contained within your own breathing zone and you don't expel it to others. So in fact, when it comes to COVID-19, a three-ply mask like the one that you're holding is already enough to protect others from catching any virus that might come from your body. And also, ang important dito, Cesar, is not just wearing the mask, it's also the social distancing rules. Because yung cough natin, yung sneeze natin can only go as much. So if you maintain that social distancing rule, we believe in combination with wearing the PPE, if you're in close contact with anybody, is already enough to prevent you from catching any virus. Of course, not to mention the constant washing your hands and not touching any part of your face.
Now, with Joe Neal, is this now the new normal in your company's operations and services? Is this now somehow part of the system? Have you revisited your protocols to ensure that these are updated, knowing, incorporating, integrating the latest government guidelines?
When it comes to helping our communities and stakeholders, I wouldn't really say it's a new normal for us, and that's one thing that what makes me, Richard, and I, proud to become employees of Calls in Philippines. This culture has been embedded since the start. So for us, activating not only health and safety protocols but corporate social responsibility strategies as well is already embedded in every time a calamity hits. There are already actions in place. So as we go towards the new normal, I think what's critical for us is to continue spreading that the importance of on the aspect of corporate social responsibility, the importance of sanitation and hygiene, to become part of the culture of our communities. And that's something that we've been continuing, and we plan to implement more as much as we can moving forward. Water, sanitation, hygiene, solid waste management. These are things, environmental protection. These are things that we want to really cascade to stakeholders and even other companies that are present in the communities where we operate. We want to share the knowledge that that we've been cultivating over the years. That it is important, to put emphasis on those things as well. Those vital things like sanitation and hygiene, like I said, water and even solid waste management and circular economy. Those are very important things to us. That's part of our culture as a member of the Lafarge Holcim Group. So it's just a matter of sharing those knowledge with the community as you said, as a thought leader in the industry. We want to share that with everyone.
Yeah, well said. Now, let me go back to the cement and construction industry. Everybody, the whole industry, the whole business community was put to a halt. And it's good that our government somehow opened it up, because yung lagi nga nating napag-uusapan, I always talk with the other CEOs and thought leaders here. So it was governments around the world that had to choose between the safety of their people or yung pagbangon ng kanilang ekonomiya. So dapat may balanse 'yon. Now in your case, how do you find the cement and construction industry growing? Kasi medyo nagbubukas naman na, 'di ba? Like say for example, sabi nga ng iba, I think with cement and the construction industries, medyo mapapractice ninyo yung social distancing, 'di ba? Like when there are unlike the other businesses that they had to be very very close with each other, like maybe the hotel restaurant business and maybe airlines, but with the construction and cement, maybe there's a way for social distancing that can be implemented. Ano yung outlook ninyo? Ano ba yun? Mag-grow ba yan? Tuloy-tuloy pa rin ba yun? So, are you also on a wait and see attitude? Or are there, what's your view in terms of the future? Will it continue to grow despite the pandemic?
That's a very difficult question, Cesar. No, actually, I don't think anybody has the right
Correct.
answer to that question. But I think to your point, what's most important really is to have an outlook. And I think the outlook that we would like to espouse every time that we we make the product, which is cement, is that we remain to be hopeful and we remain to be on the resilient side of things, no, and to be conscious about how we continue to protect our people despite the slowdown is very very important. Because if we don't protect our people, uh, nothing there's no reason, there's no amount of money in the world that can justify putting our people's lives and health
Tama.
in danger. And I think what Junil said kanina, no, I would like to reemphasize that health and safety is an overarching value for our company. When you say overarching, we don't put business first or profits first over people and their safety. We always think about the health and safety first, and then then we can talk about how will we do business in times like this. And I think the overall outlook is, of course, we wait and see, but we cannot just wait and see and hope everything will be okay. In fact, nothing is normal anymore. That's why we have strategies in place to make sure we take care of our people, we optimize our resources to make sure that when the economy really goes back to the levels near what was in the past, or even more in the future, that we can be ready, to face the challenges head on.
Okay. Wow. That's good. That's very insightful. My question to Joe Neil naman is this. During the pandemic and yeah, during and after the lockdowns, there were talks about displacements, people losing their jobs, people losing employees, uh, resigning from their respective jobs. The rest would be the rest are doing work from home initiatives, but when they are there, they're now uncertain, unsure if they have when they go back to their offices or companies, there is still a job waiting for them. In your company, how do you manage these scenarios, and is that also the same experience that your company has experienced in terms of displacements and maybe transferring or providing other opportunities for your employees and workers and providing them job opportunities somewhere else?
One of the things that, as Richard has mentioned, because of our overarching principle on health and safety, these are the things that we managed to, implement for our employees and even contractors. For those that have been working from homes, it has proven to become an effective tool, as we are doing right now. Online as a very good tool to use, and business is continuing despite without the physical interaction. Um, our um, our human resources organizational and human resources team has been actively promoting online trainings for employees that that are usually field based, since distancing restrictions would keep them in their homes, so trainings are in place. So we utilize several tools that will allow employees to continue their training, or even at times there will become developmental assignments wherein some employees will function in other tasks in other sites, so they could still continue and continue learning. So I think that's a very important thing for us, that this lockdown will not automatically mean disruption of employment. This is just another opportunity for us to showcase the protocols that we have in place. We're working from home. You have online training. You cannot travel. There are online platforms that can be utilized. You could still continue your trainings. You could still engage with your customers. We have tools like Richard has mentioned a while ago, that we can still continue interacting with our customers and even our key stakeholders, even online.
You tackled one of the very important um, uh, tools that have to be used by businesses and organizations, which is strengthening or embracing digital transformation, embracing digital technologies. This is a general question. What is the role now of technology in health, safety, and security? Maybe Richard can answer that.
Yeah, thanks, Cesar. I think it plays a major role. No, in fact, all our meetings, even in the plant, no, even if the employees are already in the plants, they don't gather together in a huge group. They will initiate a virtual meeting to discuss plant operations and safety and health risks. So it actually makes us more prepared to make sure that we respect all the social distancing rules. When it comes to order management of our customers, it's also very, very safely done through an online platform we call Easy Build. No? So this is where you can order online, you can pay online, and then your deliveries will arrive at the time that you want it. So majority of our customers have already been using this digital platform. And digital is at the heart of our business resiliency program. And this digital revolution, COVID-19 just affirmed what our company has always been promoting when it comes to the digital revolution, because we foresaw that in the future, less and less physical contact will happen, and then the companies who do not take charge of the digital era probably will be left behind. But the good news about it is that it's not only for multinational companies, Cesar, no? Anybody now can actually leverage on digital, because so many apps are out there.
Yeah.
I do hope the digitization of the country moves forwards in leaps and bounds, and I believe it
Yes.
will. And a lot of companies can learn from each other because of the very, very narrow gap now on information and technology.
Well said, Richard. We're running out of time, but before we ask you to leave the conversation, I'd like to ask your insights on health, safety, and security, not only for the general viewers, but for your industry and for the general public. This is a very interesting discussion because I never realized that the discussion on cement could be this sexy. So thank you so much to both of you. Your insights on health, safety, and security. Let's start with Jonil.
For us, again, it all boils down to culture. On my end, since I handle stakeholder relations, so externally, the culture of health and safety and even security should spread and should be shared. We should not keep those strategies and principles that we have in place. Those are not things. These are not things that you can say na itago natin because it's our advantage. Rather, it's an opportunity to share to our communities and stakeholders. Our culture on corporate social responsibility is also becoming embedded in our employees as well. As I've mentioned earlier, our employees organize their own voluntary works as well. So I think that's an evidence of how our culture has translated into to our own employees. Even our unions, we saw that our unions have been spearheading their own voluntary corporate social responsibility activities. So that's something that makes us really proud. These are not things that are initiated by the company or the stakeholder relations team, but employees themselves, have that culture embedded in them to help our communities in this time of great need.
Thank you, Jonil. Richard.
So again, in behalf of our company, Cesar, we'd like to thank you for this opportunity that you've given us to share our learnings and our knowledge on the topic of health, safety, and security and stakeholder relations. So we believe, like what Janelle said, it's about transparency, it's about open communication, it's about helping each other out. There's no trade secrets when it comes to health, safety, security, and stakeholder relations. And I would just like to add to what Janelle said that there's this mantra that says safety is a good business. Because if you're safe, if you're healthy, your people are happy, they become more resilient, they become more of a contributing force rather than something that will hold you back. It's actually a good investment to try and make safety your priority. So we would like to also share to your viewers and the industries that may be also watching this program, and I hope lots of people will tune into your show, is that health and safety is now being more and more part of a sustainable business. And if you're a sustainable business, you become a resilient business. And if you're a resilient business, whatever tragedy will strike, you will know that you have the peace of mind that you can cope and you can adapt well in the changing times. So these are changing times. Everybody's vulnerable. But we believe in our company, if you put health and safety on the top of your value, then everything will follow. The discipline will be there, and the economy will be the better for it when we take health and safety to our heart, and not just in the business field, but also in our homes where we are. So because if we're safe in everything that we do, I think we can carry it wherever we go, and I think we will be much more resilient, not just a company or an industry, but a country as well.
Wow, that is a perfect way to end the conversation. That is the Stakeholder Relations Manager, John Neil Anyo of Holcim, and the Vice President for Health, Safety, and Security, Richard Cruz. Thank you, Richard and John Neil, for gracing the show Open for Business. Open for Business will be back with our term and word of the week. Stay with us. Open for Business will return.
Hi! Ito po ulit si Imelda Papin. Abangan ang part 2 ng Tagisan ng Galing dito po sa Net25.
Do you want to earn a degree while you work? New Era University now offers Expanded Tertiary Education Equivalency and Accreditation Program, or ETIAP. ETIAP is an educational scheme that recognizes knowledge, skills, and prior learning obtained by individuals from non-formal and informal education experiences. It is implemented through deputized higher educational institutions like the New Era University that awards the appropriate degrees. Programs offered are the following. Master's Program, Masters of Arts in Education, major in Educational Management, Master's Program in Business Administration, Bachelor of Arts in Science, major in Political Science, Bachelor of Arts in Science, major in Mass Communication, Bachelor of Science in Education, major in Filipino, major in English, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration with majors in Human Resources Development, Marketing Management, and Financial Management. Beneficiaries must be Filipinos who have attained at least high school level of education. The program is flexible and you don't need to attend regular classes. Expanded Tertiary Education Equivalency and Accreditation Program, or ETIAP, is under the supervision of Dr. Nilo L. Rosas, the University President, and Professor Anita P. Santos, Director of ETIAP. For more information, contact the following. Christina Moreno, 0995-138-0786, or email cvmoreno@neu.edu.ph, or Arlene Sarmiento, 0906-298-9150, or email cedctl@neu.edu.ph. What are you waiting for? Let New Era University be your partner in achieving your dreams.
Open for Business is back, and our term of the week is occupational health and safety. According to verywellhealth.com, occupational health and safety is the field of public health that studies trends in illnesses and injuries in the worker population and proposes and implements strategies and regulations to prevent them. Its scope is broad, encompassing a wide variety of disciplines from toxicology and epidemiology to ergonomics and violence prevention. Historically, the focus of occupational health and safety efforts have been on manual labor occupations such as factory workers, but the field now encompasses all occupations in the United States, in addition to ensuring our work environments from construction sites to office buildings have safety precautions in place to prevent injuries. Experts in occupational health also work to limit both short-term and long-term hazards that could lead to physical or mental illness now or in the future. And our word of the week is from an unknown author. He said, "Prepare and prevent. Don't repair and repent." Thank you for watching Open for Business. Join us again in the next episodes of Open for Business for more insights from CEOs, thought leaders, and industry experts and SMEs promoting business development in the Philippines. See you again every Saturday and Sunday here in Open for Business, where we discuss business information, deliver the latest business news to keep you informed and open for business and be ahead of the curve from vision to action. You're on Facebook Live on Eagle News and at Net25 TV, and you can watch us again in the video section of Eagle News and Net25 Facebook pages and on eaglenewslive.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Net25 TV. Before we end this episode, allow me to greet Mr. Robin Padilla, the host of Unlad Kaagapay sa Hanap Buhay, and his wife Mariel for celebrating their wedding anniversary. Birthday greetings also to the Unlad show director Carlo Cuevas. Watch Unlad every Sunday 7 p.m. here on Net25. MSMEs have a lot to learn from this exciting agriculture and livelihood program. Thank you again for watching. For Open for Business, this is Cesar Vallejos. We live in interesting times.